Here he is, TJ Hockenson, ladies and gentlemen. Leads all National Football League tight ends with 80 receptions. Also first with 108 targets, far clear from the rest. And second in yardage with 786, chasing Travis Kelce, and he joins us now. You're going to be doing some shopping soon, aren't you, my man? What's going on?
That's the plan, yeah. We're excited to be out here at Scheels and, help some kids out and go on a little shopping spree. I think it's going to be fun.
This Unreal clothing, as we have mentioned, is fantastic, especially when you're a well-oiled machine athlete like TJ Hockenson compared to the producer and yours truly. I haven't felt my ribs in 30 years, and all of a sudden my man rolls up with like 2% body fat, and I'm like, damn, that Unreal gold Viking sweatshirt looks unbelievable on him, doesn't it?
Yeah, you and I don't walk around trying to look like the freaking sun, so we'll leave the yellow color. I'm happy with my gray, but TJ definitely making Unreal look good.
Scheels, Eden Prairie Center, purchased a toy, and we'll go to a tot thanks to the Marine Corps. We appreciate that. Pushing through pain. Have you ever experienced anything in any of your professional or, say, Hawkeye's career where, you don't need to get into the particulars of all the body parts that with a bye this late in the season, man, but it's like we've seen you in games catch passes, then you're sitting down there, takes you a little while to get up, injury report, limited, did not practice, play, score, just the bomb in games. But it was a couple of Wednesdays ago when I get out there Wednesday to do my radio show, and I get out there early, so I was walking down the hallway. Remember when I saw you?
Oh, yeah.
And you had your hood? I mean, it wasn't a limp. I don't know. It looked like every body part you had hurt as you walked just gingerly down that hallway on a Wednesday. And I'm like, damn, man, TJ's coming through every single play, but TJ needs the bye. That late bye can be tough, right?
Yeah, no, it was a tough 5-game stretch for sure, but having a bye this late, and it really helped out, I think, a lot of guys' bodies, especially mine. Coming off of this and doing a little run through yesterday and doing a little practice, obviously it felt a lot better than I did when I left. So I think we're all just ready for this 5-game stretch and keep this season going. So it was definitely a tough stretch there for a little bit with the body, but we're getting through it.
Mm-hmm. Tough stretch from a health perspective and just trying to stay on the field and keep grinding, the mental aspect of that. What's the mental part of it been like with adjusting to Joshua Dobbs? And these last 4 games in general, even putting wins and losses aside, just the aspect of having a transition from Kirk Cousins and then getting ready all week for Jaron Hall, the crazy chaos of what took place in Atlanta, but then just continuing to try and work on this offense over the last month, getting used to Dobbs. What's that been like?
I've thrown with Dobbs in the offseason a couple times. He's a Nashville guy, so that's where I'm at in the offseason. So to be able to transition to his ball wasn't a big thing for me. The thing about this league is, and you find out about quarterbacks, is they're all different. They all have different likings and different ticks that they want and in certain situations. And obviously Josh is one of those guys that can make a play when you need him to and can make a play with his legs. And so, just the transition from that was being able to continue and get open while you can, in the backfield, and he can extend plays and do things. And so it's the play's not over until the ball's down, was the biggest thing that we all learned in those 4 weeks, and just continuing with Josh. I mean, he's a great dude. He's a great leader, and to have him come in as late as he did and do what he's done has been truly incredible.
Help me with this. So you're from Iowa. You went to the University of Iowa. You're a Hawkeye. You came into the league in the city of Detroit, and then now you execute your toil in Minneapolis, St. Paul. How'd you settle on Nashville? How'd you settle on Nashville?
Yeah, I mean, I met my fiance there, so it ended up being pretty good. But, I think Nashville is just a place where all the tight ends are at. When I was, after my rookie year, George Kittle and Rob Tunyon, and there's a bunch of guys down there, asked me to come down, and I went down there for the offseason, and then loved every second of the city, loved just being in the warmth and in the work, and they have a really good setup down there. So I ended up making it home, and it's been a great place for me to get away from the cities that I play in, and then and come back and be ready to go.
So when and maybe you haven't seen enough through the Dobbs games, like second quarter Atlanta, then Saints, and then the other two games. But nevertheless, is it now with Jefferson returning, and you're of the Pro Bowl / All Pro variety, and then you got Addison, who's been as good as any rookie receiver this side of Puka Nacua in the National Football League. So 3 legitimate threats, all right, with time for an offensive-minded head coach and coaching staff to craft some things. Here's the question. Whether it's Dobbs, Mullins, Hall, or whomever coming up at Las Vegas, when a quarterback is naturally gifted with the run, like Dobbs is, I mean, it's a gift. It's a natural gift. It's not forced or anything. Mm-hmm. How hard is it when you got Addison, Hockenson, and or JJ? How difficult is it choosing, like how often do they get doubled? Because like if you gotta spy somebody on a running quarterback, well, you can't double them all. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, that's where the hard part comes in with a running quarterback is, obviously the spy has to come from the top-down safety or the backer, which limits double teams in a lot of situations, whether it's JJ over top with the safeties and or it's me underneath with the backers, so. Or it's JA on the other side, So it's hard on a defense when you have all 3 or our entire receiving core and then a quarterback that can move. I mean, and all of them can move, but obviously Josh has a special gift, and so I think it's very hard on defenses. And when they double one guy, obviously they can't double us all, so it puts us one-on-one either underneath coverage or over the top in Jordan's case. And so I think it's going to be huge to have JJ back on the field, and it's going to be, I mean, he's obviously one of a kind player and one of a generational player. You guys don't even get to see half of it, what he does in practice and stuff that he just tries to do rather than actually doing it on the field. So it's going to be a blast these next 5 weeks, and I think we're just taking it 1 week at a time.
And with Kevin O'Connell's press conference tomorrow to get into the Raiders week, the expectation is, at least knowing KOC and the way he operates, I bet you he probably says who the starting quarterback will be this weekend. So that potentially could come up tomorrow. Nordo?
How tough do you think it was on Justin Jefferson, having to watch you guys? And he's been such a personality and a vocal aspect from the sidelines. He doesn't look like he's been disconnected at all since he's been out with that injury. But in the same sense of wanting someone to be healthy, but having to pull him back because he wants to be out there with you. How has he handled that, you think?
I mean, I know JJ real well, and obviously he wants to be in between the white lines. I mean, he's one of a kind, not just as a player, but as a person. I mean, he's a great human being to be around. He's a great teammate. And he was there throughout however long he was out, I mean, he was in the meetings, he was on the field, he was always wanting to help guys and get better. And I've said this before in a conference was, I've had some routes throughout these last weeks that JJ's had in the past, and I haven't been able to run, obviously because we have 1-8 out there, So just going up to him and being able to ask him, hey, what do you see in these situations? How do you run this? How do you kind of do these things? And I'll do my best impression of it, So it's been a blast to have him. And obviously, it's tough watching the team on the sideline, not knowing you're not able to go out there and help out. And I've been in that situation, and it's obviously not fun because you want to be out there with your brothers, and that's why you go through things. That's why you go through the off season as long as it is. That's why you go through camp as long as it is, and you go through all these preparations in order to be out there with the boys and be out there with your teammates. And so obviously that's hard, but he's handled it with true grace and professionalism.
TJ got to get out there and shop for Tots, Toys for Tots, Scheels, Eden Prairie Center. And lastly, how good was Kirk playing when he popped that Achilles? I mean, seriously.
I mean, insane. I mean, Kirk is one of a kind, obviously. He's so mentally focused. He understands coverages. He understands what we're trying to do as an offense, and he can put the ball in places that not many people can. And he was doing it at a really high level when he got hurt. And obviously, he's gonna come back stronger. Just knowing Kirk and knowing how he's been working in the training room these last few weeks, and I'm just really excited to watch him come back and keep doing his thing.
TJ Hockenson, ladies and gentlemen, what'd you think of that Big Ten title game?
That was a tough one.
Yeah, it was
a tough one for the Hawks.
Yeah, Michigan's a really, really good squad, so that's all right. Still a very good season for the Hawkeyes, right?
Exactly. They'll be down in Florida, so be watching that one.
Good seeing you, brother.
Great to see you. Thank you.
TJ Hockenson, ladies and gentlemen, one of the very best in the National Football League. He's TJ.